Hi, welcome to That's a Thing, Accent Core, episode .75.
Drew, you're roboting. Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry, I got a couple text messages. They cut me out. You want me to start over?
Nah, it's fine. The
Okay, we'll
train,
say
it's
it
already.
again.
Listen, the train is already rolling.
Oh god, I'm getting blown up in text messages. Sorry, I'm so popular.
Yeah, no, that's what
I'm
happened.
so popular.
I had that happen this morning because apparently a bear and her two cubs showed up at my mom's farm, kind of like,
Aw,
and she had pictures of them, and they were just kind of wandering around.
yeah,
So yeah, that's going on.
that's what life is, at least in some places.
Yeah, it was just a black bear, which apparently kind of cowardly, as long as you don't run up on them.
Yeah. So, like, for my library job, doing these interviews for people during the wildfires, one of the people we interviewed studies black bears in the Smoky Mountain Park.
Yeah,
And, they had all these, bears already collared pre fire. So they were naturally, what does a bear do during a wildfire? It turns out they leave and then come back almost immediately and are not that affected by the wildfire.
that makes sense. I mean, as long as basically the bear can eat, bears are omnivorous. They can eat whatever they want,
Yeah.
which is
The only weird bit is since so much stuff was burned, their dinning choices were very limited, and it's winter when the fire hit. So they found one bear just dinning in a burnt field.
that's kind of cool, but also kind of scary if you think about it. Like
Yeah.
if you imagine walking through a field and then just a bear rises up, it's like, oh no.
Oh.
I think a lot of animals are interesting because it's the idea where the animal is cute when you see a picture of it, but if you're face to face, it becomes horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel the same about like even like a large dog, a big old dog. If you were just
Yeah.
walking
A
around and you saw
German
it,
Shepherd.
if you see, yeah, a big old German Shepherd or something, even like a if they're just walking and they cross your path, you're like, uh oh.
Yeah. You check for a collar first, and you don't know why you check for a collar because even if it has one, you still are. I don't. Do I see an owner around here?
Yeah,
It's part of what makes the rat creatures in Bone so good. Is they go from looking like stupid
cute things
dinguses,
until they
yeah,
open their
to
mouths.
horrifying.
I like the rat creatures. I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
So they've confirmed Netflix has picked up Bone for an animated series.
Okay, good job, Netflix. That's something that you should do.
Yeah. Well, it's Netflix is having to compete with Disney Plus now for the child audience.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's weird because that was me coughing. Yeah,
That's okay. We'll edit that out, I'm sure.
I don't edit this. This is unfiltered. Well, I like it's just been kind of a nothing. So we're
Yeah.
in a brand.
I'm rewatching Avatar.
I haven't. I've been trying and struggling to get good at card games, and also
Yeah.
I've played Call of Duty, the Call of Duty, the new Warzone mode, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can get good enough to stream it on Sunday, which is still bad. I'm still very bad at it, but I like it. It feels good enough for a battle royale. I mean, it's not perfect, but whatever. So fuck it. Let's talk about political strife. That's that's
Yeah.
where we're going.
Yeah, that's what's happening in the world today.
Yeah, and it's what's been happening in the well, if you really want to get down to it, it's what's happening on a low key simmer in the world for over 100
300
years.
years. More than that. This country's founded on it.
Yeah, so we've had stuff boil over. I think part of it, and it's because, and this is so spoiler alert or disclaimer. I
No, let's say trigger warning, Kevin.
No, we're not. No, see, because I think getting all my soapbox. I think the actual point of a trigger warning should be it's been corroded because the
Yeah,
idea
not
of
like
it.
anything.
Well, yeah, it's just garbage. Because I do think that if it's like, hey, this thing has it's like a content whatever. Where if you
Yeah.
had, if it's like, yo, this has graphic depictions of movie has graphic depictions of war. If you have PTSD, do not watch this movie. To me, that's what it
Yeah.
should have been. But
Yeah.
like
Oh,
all
something simple and understandable.
yeah, that's been corroded because of the internet's
Yeah.
terribleness into
Yeah.
advise of the terrible.
It's not blaming at all. It's popular culture.
Yeah. So my disclaimer is that I am not the smartest nor the most reputable source on political and racial strife, but there's plenty of people that are, and you should listen to people that are not a 30-something white man that draws bad comics. So just take some time and listen to the people that are actually getting shenaniganed on. Not even shenanigan. That's a making light. Who are getting actively harassed every
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that.
No. The tweet I saw that said a lot was, if you're tired of seeing all the racism stuff on your Twitter feed for like the past week, imagine how the people who have to live with it feel.
Yeah, I mean it's the idea, and it gets me thinking personally, where I've only been profiled once in my life, and I can't imagine how that would be every single time.
And yeah, and even then, are you talking about when like they brought the drug
the
sniffing
drug
dog
dog,
out?
the sniff out
Yeah,
of
on our drive to a local comic convention, and yeah, they sniffed the car for drugs.
Now, can you like? And it's one of the things where it felt real bad and terrible. But what if that was like every week or every month?
And also, no, like for us, I didn't feel in danger.
Oh, I wasn't in danger at all.
Yeah, so for a huge population of this country, it's no every encounter with the police, you might just die.
Yeah, it might be a dude who just listen. They just threw down a baggie and said, "We found it. We found it. You're arrested."
I don't even think they have to do that.
Well,
They found it later.
Not anymore. Are we really pining for the halcyon days? I like the word halcyon. Halcyon days of planting fake evidence. Having to go at least that extra step.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because now, like, the guy who got caught, the one who finally got arrested, has a history of, like, 3 prior charges.
I thought it was 13. I thought
it
was a lot.
It's something where it's like, how is he still patrolling?
And I also wanted to make a point, and I think this is a valid point that has to be made, where it is not strictly like the policeman and harassment of the poor minorities and a bunch of people. It's not just a Republican Democrat thing. Like, it's one of those things. This is across the board.
Yeah.
And to me, it has to be made clear, because it's not one of those things where, because you'll see some people saying, well, just vote Trump out of office and it'll be fixed. Where it's like, nah, Minneapolis, Minnesota
Yeah,
is not a red state or a red city. That's not
yeah,
that's
no,
not the
it is
problem.
it is systemic. It is the whole system has been built and has been running on racism.
Yeah, and it's really because it's really messed up. And God, it makes me sound so stupid, but I don't care. That's part
Yeah,
of
no,
it.
I get why you're laughing. Is because you're using such simple terms to describe such a tragedy.
Well, yeah, it's also I laugh because part of it is it's so
You don't want to cry.
yeah, and I because my brain is going like it's it's when you get to something that's so cartoonish that you would make as a joke, and then you discover that nah, that's just real, and then
Yeah,
and you're like, ooh, it's
yeah.
and it's the it's like have you been seeing the stuff where like the undercover cops that are going in there and they're saying like, yeah, I'm CNN, and then they're throwing bricks at people's, and it's like, yo,
Yeah, it's the I've found out so many things about. So if you go to a protest, cops undercover will have a color of the day band that they wear over one arm, so that way they can identify other cops who are at the protest. And then there's been a bunch of white people, heavily like clothed in all black, that are also just doing wanton destruction, while onlookers are just filming and asking, "What are you doing?
yeah, like you
Hey, what are
keep
you doing? Are you a cop?"
or just it's like that to me that was the most messed up thing where you're seeing people that are using it as public disobedience of systemic racism to loot and destroy as if and it's just like, dude, to me that goes beyond bad, and you're now evil. That's
Yeah.
now you are now evil if
Well,
you're
no, and some of that isn't even like looting for personal gain. It's also like trying to paint the protesters in a worse light to try to get public
oh yeah, they're trying to
outrage
get
against the
outcry. It's
protesters.
trying to
Yeah,
it's instigators trying to agitate and escalate, and you're like, wow.
yeah,
It feel
yeah.
like
Well, no,
it's
yeah, and it's trying again. It's trying to make the people who are justly protesting and outraging. It's trying to make them look worse, so that way maybe the media will spin a negative light on
and the cause can be delegitimized because you're like, oh,
them.
we
Yeah,
don't like to see the target burn, even though
yeah,
I think it's kind of funny that the target burns. Like, I'll be real. It was oh god, because one of the reasons I wanted to talk about civil unrest on the podcast is because I feel like on my Twitter, my Twitter and my writing and my drawing are suitable for nonsense, and it helped, and it makes me sound less intelligent than I am, which is still not very. But I don't I feel like without tone and context, I just don't want to do that, which is why I'm saving it for
yeah.
the podcast so I can just talk
It's
about it.
it was that video where Rob from U Realms is apologizing and saying, "Here's how I'm going to pay all this money back," and the whole time you're watching that video, you're just waiting for the joke,
Yeah.
and you get to the end, and it's all serious, and you can't deal with it.
Yeah. And I feel like my Twitter is mostly for stupid things that don't make sense. So I wanted to talk about on the podcast things that are legit with a couple of jokes. There will be jokes. I have a bit. I have a bit I want to get to. But it's just it's I mean, in general, I can't remember when exactly, but it's the idea when I stopped believing that the police were all good. I don't remember when exactly that was in my
Yeah,
life, but there was a shift from the thing where I think most people would like to believe it as the police are there to help you, and then it's turned into, nah, not really.
No, the police are there to protect the haves from the have-nots.
Yeah, and
It's
it's. Oh, you go. I don't want to
I
just.
was gonna say it's going from the period of your life where you hear "fuck the police," that social media has now established everyone to be able to see and view and understand and join in on saying "fuck the police."
Yeah, it's part of it because you're seeing, and I think it is one of the benefits of our modern times is you're seeing evidence, video evidence of it, and it's not edited. It's not a joke or a skit. You're seeing, nah, this is what's happening to people.
Yeah, this is real life.
You're seeing and you're seeing, and to me, if to me, which I think is the big source of the problem, is the public's trust and faith in the police is so, because this is why to me it needs to be redone, redealt with, is so low that you can't just say, no, it's just one or two bad actors, and people go, no, like
Yeah, because okay, so I've got two thoughts on that. But
yeah.
yeah, because it's not just the bad actors; it's that those bad actors are surrounded by people who aren't doing anything.
Yeah, and I can understand, and this is me being sympathetic as a coward, but also as a catch-22, why as a coward I should not be a policeman is why, like, it's hard to call someone out in your own group. I can understand that, but why I mean it's a catch-22 is if you should be a policeman, ideally should be someone who's able to do that. Which is why I'm not a police. Drew, you there? Drew, you there? Okay, so I'm just going to keep going until Drew shows up again. So, Drew, if you show up. Drew, you're not there. Anyway, so and that's what I think is it's a problem, because you're seeing video. It's just like, it's nonsense, and you're also seeing stuff where it's all, there's so many bad cops, and there's so many, because I know that there's some people that do that to be good, but I think it's a problem. It's such an issue, and I honestly don't know how to fix it, because you got to have some sort of, you can't have no police, but you can't have these police, and especially when you're getting programs like stop and frisk, you're getting, oh, Drew's gone. Drew had an issue, but I'm gonna keep going. So it's like when you have programs and consistencies are consistent, just messing with people, and you're also dealing with that. I also think it's a problem, so I gotta just talk for a bit. I also think it's a problem where you're having police dealing with constant, I think you gotta have some sort of like de-escalation or reaffirmation of a community, because as a police person, they're dealing with generally people who are doing crimes in some fashion, and I feel like that can establish a bias for a people or a population, a group of people, and if you don't check that out, that can lead to just people doing bad stuff. So, like, I would like to have some sort of mental health or evaluation, even like therapists, just in police departments, to kind of show that not everyone is like the people in Surviving Edged Weapons who have knives and will kill you at any second. I think that level of fear and kind of conflict both drives down police, like the ability to not, or just trust in their community. I think that's a thing. I don't like people co-opting things. Also, it's a weird thing because you're seeing people kind of be dichotomy, where they were freaking out when Kaepernick was kneeling, and they weren't freaking out when people were not kneeling. It's kind of like, yo, what's going on there? I feel like we gotta just deal with people. And I think as a person, because I don't know, I think you just have to defer to people, minorities, people that aren't 30-something white guy like me about stuff. And that's what I'll say on that for now. But what I will say is that I'll talk about nonsense until Drew gets back. I think part of the problem from a greater standpoint is one of these ideas where I think because, oh, hey Drew, you back? Are you back? I can't hear you. All right.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Yeah, okay. So I was sitting outside and my phone overheated and crashed everything.
Yeah. How did it overheat?
Because I was sitting outside and I'm just sitting on the ground, and I guess the combination of the sun and the asphalt.
Oh.
I still don't have patio chairs, so I just sit on a towel in my patio area.
Yeah.
Did you stop the podcast, or are we still going?
No, I was just still going. I just did my whole spiel about, to catch you up, I talked about the issues of community trust in police, where I feel like part of the reasons is that when you're trying to militarize your police and make them think that everyone is going to whip out a gun or a knife, that assumes that there's an inherent conflict, and that escalates tensions. And I think
So on that point, there's something about that I want to touch on too.
Yeah.
Think about how police used to look 50 years ago, where it's the light blue shirt and the hat and that look, versus now,
where they look like RoboCops with riot gear.
Yeah, it's like all black. Yeah. So it's just, you don't, of course, perception of the community's perception of the police is going to change, but also the perception of the people who are going into the police are going to change.
Yeah, like that. That's kind of what I was getting at, but maybe not expressed as succinctly. Where you're having, we're approaching actual RoboCop. It's because you see those, you have the riot gear and then the armored patrol APC looking like Call of Duty. Yeah. It's looking like Call of Duty Warzone out there, and you're like, whoa.
It's and that's what I've only just learned, and I think a lot of America might just be learning, is that tear gas isn't allowed in military conflicts, but the police have it.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of crap it's weird because I don't support violence unless it's in a fictional setting. Then it's okay, but not in real. And it's the idea where it's also, I think it was something where in military you have to go through boot camp and stuff, whereas a police course is 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And it feels, you want, it feels, I think you're attracting the wrong kind of people. We've talked about, I think to be a policeman, where to me, the ideal policeman should never want to shoot someone or do something. That should never,
well, I mean, that problem is also in the Army as well. You can't say the armed forces don't have that problem.
Oh, no. I'm just saying that as a civilian human, that the
Yeah.
police are far you encounter that far more than the army. That's just kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah. Also, did you talk about the Amy Cooper thing?
No, but we can get there. How
So yeah, because you were talking earlier about how people there's such a pushback from the community against the police, where it's such a negative perception. But it's not everyone has a negative perception. There's some people who think the police are doing what they're supposed to be.
it's
When you call and you specifically say an African American man is harassing me.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what I was gonna go to, but I kind of got lost in my thoughts about a cartoon where that feels like a drawn together joke where someone calls the police and says
Does.
a black man is here, I am threatened, and then you see the riot cops show up. You can imagine, I'm like, yeah, that's like a joke that would be in Drawn Together, and then we see that's just real.
That's just reality now.
It's that
I
she's
can't say now.
no, it's been that way. We just have records of it now. But it's like, ooh. And it's also the fact that she was some investment firm, whatever. The actual looters of our society.
Well, yeah, of course. They're the ones who are entitled and the ones that the police are actually there to serve.
It's like
It's
all
that he said there's a leash law. You need to keep your dog on a leash. And her response is to call the police.
and threaten it in threatening to kill. It wasn't like I'm gonna call the police because no. It's just like, yeah, you deserve to die now because Mittens. I care so much about Mittens, who I'm strangling or whatever. It's like I can't. It's you've inconvenienced me. The sentence is
No,
death.
you've inconvenienced Mittens.
As she's strangling Mittens. She's saying, you're inconveniencing Mittens. How dare you? I don't know where I got the name Mittens. That just seems like the kind of name a woman like that would give a dog.
Isn't that one of the dogs in Animaniacs?
Is it? Is that in my brain?
Is that the dog that's protecting like the toddler?
Is it? Oh Lord, maybe. Animaniacs is weird. Okay.
So I was about to say if you know what it actually is, write in the comments below. But that made me remember we got a comment on last week's episode.
Oh, we did? What did the comment say?
Hold on, I'm finding it right now.
Okay, hold on.
But yeah, we got a comment on last week's episode.
Was it get rich from watching porn?
Oh, I wish. Still waiting.
You know, I always wondered. It's one of those ideas, like it's all joke, but the idea of a spam to being the truth, and someone trying to tell you that they did in fact get rich from watching porn.
So it is Starlene who just wrote, "Loved it."
Great.
Yeah, because I saw it and I wrote back, "Thanks, man."
All right.
So, thank you, Starlene.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll love this one.
Double thank you.
Yeah. No, I support the bots. All right. Anything?
Also, Issy, I don't know what your username is. YouTube's showing two names, so Starlene or Issy, whichever you prefer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other comments on police brutality and racism today, Drew?
I wish Nolan was here.
I do too.
Cause it's two white guys talking about this.
Yeah.
And I saw the video about if you're a white guy, what to actually do to help. And it's when the police start trying to reach and silence the black guy who's talking, you just step between the two because the policeman will not touch the white guy.
Of course. You just gotta be around.
Yeah. It's
That's also cartoonish. That seems like a drawn together joke.
Yeah.
It's just
The Onion can't compete.
Yeah, it's part of the problem. It's the issues of but it's also so I'll just spitball. Like I don't, because I want Nolan's opinion on it, but I don't want to try to elevate Nolan as the token, like, all right, Nolan, solve the problem or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I just think we have a platform as
Yeah.
small as it is.
Yeah.
If you're not using your platform to address,
Or just ask him what he feels. I think that's the correct
yeah,
idea.
yeah, yeah,
It's not like, all right,
giving
Nolan.
voices a platform,
It's like,
giving voices a platform.
yeah.
If they want it, if he doesn't want to talk on it, that's
Yo,
fine.
that's cool. Because it is a complicated issue.
Hey, Nolan, if it was to, if this is,
Drew, you going out? Are you back?
yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, your speech cut out halfway.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was just gonna say, Nolan, if you are listening, and you actively, you did not want to because it is some heavy shit. I totally get that.
Yeah.
And this is by no means any pressure on you.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You said it better than me, because like I don't like to be like, okay, here you go, because that can be terrifying, of being put in front and being like, okay, solve it. It's like, oh no,
say something meaningful.
Yeah, say something meaningful, heart-filled, in a problem-solving way, and you have to be an inspiration, and you can't talk about how Harry Potter sucks, because he is the worst cop.
Yep.
I wanted to get that. That was the bit I wanted to do, because Harry Potter sucks. That's also what I've been thinking about. Because remember, Harry Potter became.
Tune in next.
Oh.
Yeah, he becomes a cop.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, so tune in for a speech where we'll announce his candidacy for president.
Nah, Nolan's way more qualified. Oh, you mean Harry Potter announce it, or Nolan?
Nolan. That's why.
Oh, I thought you cut out.
Oh,
and I was like, well, Harry Potter, I would maybe?
He's not eligible. He's born in a foreign country.
That's true. Nah, the bar for president is super low.
Now it is.
Now, yeah, like we've seen the bottom. I can do it.
Now the bar is literally protect the rich people's interest, and you gotta, if you're blatantly campaigning for that, you got a shot at winning.
Oh yeah, you could be an algorithm.
Yeah,
you could do it. I'm just oh Lord, oh, it's bad. That's why I laugh. Do you have that response whenever things get real bad or messed up, that you laugh? Because I have that response.
Yeah, it's just everything is completely fucked.
Yeah. Oh, I just start laughing. I like it's why I can't handle some things. So see something, I just go like, oh man, that's messed up, and I start laughing because it's always seems like parody, and then it's not.
Yeah, it is. I would get in trouble in school because I would laugh, and then I would get extra in trouble because I was already in trouble, and now I'm laughing at the teacher for being in trouble.
Oh yeah, because it's like, you're like, no, this is messed up and really funny. You don't understand. This is a comedic situation. It's happening to me. I recognize it. It's bad. But yo, I laugh. It's funny.
Means it didn't happen.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman was actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was way more plot internally consistent than last week's DC comics. Whatever.
That's good. I think it's just that team, because I think that those same directors and producers have worked that continuity.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Batman and Turtles are different people or not, but I would kind of think they are.
Probably because it made a lot. It was really good. They just worked it in. Like the Foot Clan is just another ninja clan that Ra's al Ghul knew about, and they're kind of like, oh yeah, you're doing your thing over there, and then they teamed up, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. There's a really good moment where, like, are you gonna watch this movie or can I do mild spoilers?
Who voices Batman in it?
I think it's Kevin Conroy. Sounds like
I
him.
might actually watch it then.
Okay, because there's some really interesting moments where you kind of it does a thing. I was talking broad strokes, which is the thing I like in Ninja Turtles, where the turtles are more.
Wait, is it on? Is it on Netflix or Hulu or?
I don't know. I think I saw it on Amazon Prime, so it might. I don't know if it's on where it is.
Then I'm not gonna watch it. If it's not easily accessible, then no, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, because I watched it. Actually, I watched it with my dad because we were like, here's a movie, and it was pretty. It did some cool stuff like Batman could not beat Shredder in a fight, like a strict one-on-one. He could not do it, and I liked that a lot. But Leonardo beat Ra's al Ghul in a fight because he did the ultimate ninja technique that Ra's al Ghul was not expecting a 16-year-old teenage mutant ninja turtle to do, and that is kick him square in the junk. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty good.
So I'm glad you said that because I rewatched Return of the Joker, Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
And that's also a good part in that movie is when Terry knees the Joker.
Yeah, square in the ball.
In the joke.
It's like,
and Joker gets mad.
Yeah, he gets real mad.
Batman wouldn't do that.
He just crunches it in further. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And I liked it because it's kind of like, nah, you're not dealing with that personality. And then Leonardo did a really cool like pressure point technique because he was like, I learned this from a rat, and he did like the Kinshiro pressure point and knocked out Ra's al Ghul. I was like, yo, that's sick. That's sick.
Pretty good.
There's some good moments. There's some really good moments. How Batman was not freaked out by the Ninja Turtles at all. He's just like, yep.
He's seen some stuff.
Oh yeah. There is a fantastic joke where because they use the ooze to mutate all the prisoners in Arkham as a distraction, and Poison Ivy turns into this tree monster, and she's like, I'm super strong, even stronger than before, but because she's a tree monster she couldn't move, so they just kind of walk around her. So like she's just like, no, and they just kind of just walk around her because she's just stuck as a plant.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's a pretty good joke.
It was good. People did get murdered, but they're only murdered by Ra's al Ghul and the Shredder. Not by Batman.
The heroes.
Yeah, the heroes did not do murder in this film. Only the villains, as you would imagine.
Yeah.
Penguin just bailed.
I like that.
Where he just goes, screw this, and he just took his little umbrella helicopter and flew away. I liked it.
How do you feel about the reveal that Bruce is Terry's dad?
I
don't think I like it.
I mean, to me, it's trying to wrap things up too nicely. When I liked it better as just, because it was the thing that the Gotham TV show tried to do, and then they kind of backpedaled on it, where I like the idea of that there will always be a Batman, and it doesn't have to be bloodline related. It's just that at some point in this city,
will crank one out.
Yeah, because of Gotham's inherent injustice, someone will become the Batman. If at some point, just like someone will become the Joker at some point.
Yeah.
I like that conceptual than reality. Than of just like, nah, it's all related though, because to me that somewhat cheapens it.
Yeah, it's the problem I think with the new Star Wars movies.
Yeah, where everyone's related, even though
Yeah,
it's
they
space.
pulled the Naruto.
Yeah. The weird thing about Star Wars is it's Star Wars is just it's a thing that I went from loving to hating like so much.
Oh, see, I don't even hate it. I'm just apathetic towards it now.
That put that in the same as hate, where I'm just kind of sick of
Uh,
it.
See, it's not the same though. Hate is like takes way more energy and way more passion.
Oh, okay. So the idea that that yeah, like police injustice is a hate because we are I think way more passionate about that. Or Star Wars is just It's
Yeah,
just like
but
I
again,
don't care.
the word hate gets tossed around so much that it's lost its meaning.
The internet ruining a word. Yo, that goes back into our beginning. Oh, it's all poetry. It rhymes.
Sure.
I like I like that quote. It's so dumb, but I like it because
Um,
it's from
I don't. I know it's from the like.
the behind the scenes of the prequels when George Lucas is
But
saying
yeah.
it's
But
poetry.
to me, it's more so now. It's from the.
The Red
I
Letter
don't even.
Media Review.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't remember. Yeah, it's like I think they have basically co-opted.
Yeah. Speaking of red, I wanna get something that grinds my gears.
That's
Uh,
Family Guy.
I know, but that's when Family Guy was, I think, okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what season that is anymore.
I think that was pre-cancellation. I think it was. Was Family Guy good?
Season one Family Guy, I will say it was good at the time. I don't know how it's aged, but
Because
the
I saw
episode where he goes back to school as Lando Griffin, that episode's still good.
and there are jokes that are still good. Because I saw the joke with the Hinden Peter, and that made me
Yeah.
laugh. I think the Hinden Peter is really funny.
Have you seen the episode where Stewie goes to high school to become a popular kid?
I don't remember. I don't know.
So that's definitely a post cancellation episode. But the fact that there's a pre cancellation and a post cancellation episode with the same premise, and they so perfectly exemplify what was good and what is now bad about that show.
Okay, I want to do my that Family Guy hot take, and I think
Yeah.
this is my most controversial Family Guy opinion. I like the episode where Brian and Stewie are just locked in a bank vault and talk for the entire episode.
I never saw the episode.
It's just them talking about their life and it's weirdly kind of serious, and I like it. I liked that episode.
So you should watch Midnight Gospel then.
Is that what Midnight Gospel actually is?
So yeah, I watched the first episode and something felt weird about it, and I didn't know if I liked it or not. And then I watched the second episode and I kind of locked in more on it, and then I did a Google search and confirmed my suspicions, gives me too much credit. But so what that show is they've taken discussions from podcasts by one of the showrunners,
Yeah, that's
and then they've just done an animation around the conversation.
yeah, because that's what initially turned me off and why I didn't try it. Because I found out like, yeah, this is just a podcast. I was like, or maybe I heard that it was just a podcast and I was not like in.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's what you liked about
That if yeah,
that
'cause-
episode, yeah,
Yeah,
because
that-
it's also it's only a 30-minute episode, so they basically trimmed down the however long his podcast is to the good part.
Oh, so it'd be like if you just watched. So it's like it's kind of like if someone just made the clip of where you had the giant bomb animateds, and you just made that the show, talking about my exotic farm.
Yeah.
But serious instead of about my exotic farm.
Enjoy your massage.
Enjoy your massage. You gotta get in. You gotta please those customers. Ooh. Ooh, boy. Man, that was a pretty good episode. It went 45 minutes.
I mean, I could still keep going if you want.
No, I can still keep going. I'm just talking about whatever.
Okay.
Whatever strikes your fancy. We had our serious bit. This is the cool down. You know? You start off kind of... We started off with baby bears, and then we hit with police brutality and systematic racism, and then we come out on the other side to, like, you know, cool you, bring the
Batman, Ninja Turtles,
yeah, Batman and Ninja Turtles and Family Guy. Back on brand. See, to me, that's why that's how deep the conflict and that the issue truly is. That this stupid podcast I felt the need to comment. I think that says a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. Are you looking for the word?
Dang, now I keep getting text messages. I'm just so popular.
Yeah, that happens.
But back on Return of the Joker.
Yeah,
that movie is also like really well animated.
Oh, it's sick. It's my favorite. It's my favorite Batman movie or my favorite Batman thing.
I don't know how I feel about Mask of the Phantasm. I think it's kind of boring.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said it. I like Mask of the Phantasm. I like more in terms of conceptual, but I do think it's kind of boring.
Like, it's just, I don't know. That came to theaters too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Damn, Batman the Animated Series was big stuff.
Batman the Animated Series was nuts. I think like looking back on it, when I was younger, I liked the Superman cartoon more than Batman because I thought the Batman cartoon was more boring at times. But now, as an adult, I'm like, yeah, it's boring because they're talking and having emotional feelings and stuff. Where 8-year-old me just wanted to see the superheroes fight. And Superman.
To me, it was always, I knew what time and channel the animated series Batman came on and when, and so I regularly watched it. And then Superman, the animated series, never quite found that regular schedule.
I always remember watching Superman on Saturday.
Yeah.
But then again, like comparatively, that's when my number one cartoon was 90s X-Men. I love 90s Fox X-Men. That was the one.
That is a cartoon comic book.
Yeah. I also really like Radioactive Spider-Man.
Yeah. I watched a chunk of 90s X-Men, and I don't remember any of it.
I remember bits and pieces. I mean, obviously I remember the bits. My favorite scene of Wolverine yelling "covered in scorpions" and him going, "I'm covered in scorpions," which is my favorite.
Oh, have you seen the pilot for Kitty Pryde and the X-Men?
I have not.
So that was the forerunner to the 90s X-Men cartoon, where you can tell a lot of that DNA was already present in that show, and they just retooled it to remove Kitty Pryde as the main character, and I guess that's where they put Jubilee in that role instead.
Yeah.
Wolverine is Australian.
Ugh, I don't like... No.
It is bizarre and kinda works.
I I get it in that kind of Kano way where you've made him kind of
Yeah,
gruff Australian. I get
yeah.
that. But no, he's Canada. He should be speaking with like a thick Canadian accent. That'd be
But
better.
but this was but that was before people knew that. It was before his backstory was revealed.
His accent changes as his memories come back from the Weapon X project. So
Yeah.
he lost his mind. He went to Australia, developed an accent, and then when he came back, and then he goes a boot.
I think that would be hilarious as you're peeling back the layers of Wolverine's psyche. You can tell how deep you are by the accent he has.
I like that because he's lived a long time.
Yeah. It's
That
like, oh no, we've hit the 5 year period where he was a California surfer.
It's like righteous dude, and then he has a British accent because he was in the colonial Williamsburg. he's,
Yeah.
he's like, I gotta help the king and queen. It's like, ugh. What was that? Just in the movie? What was it? Where it was like Wolverine was in the Civil War or some crap like
That was
that?
in that's in Tangerine Oranges.
Okay, yo, that movie was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that movie.
Yeah, because it clocks him back to the 1800s. Him and Sabretooth both. That movie clocks them back to the 1800s.
Yeah, I don't like that. I do not a fan.
I think Wolverine worked best when he just knew he was in some horrible government program and didn't have any clear memories because that program was so terrible.
Yeah. Although in World I did like the X-Men episode where he teamed up with Captain America. I thought that was pretty cool in World War II.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like it's weird because as our time advances, but I really like it's so good that Magneto was basically he was in the Holocaust, and that's why he is doing what he's doing. That makes so much sense for villainous motivation, and because you can understand it. But it's as time goes by, it's like, did they freeze you, Magneto? And then they have to magic him to stay young, and you're just like, eh.
Yeah, they have to do all this weird stuff. So now he's just a shredded
Yeah,
guy, still with like white hair. So you're extra baffled because he still looks an old man, but he's just ripped.
yeah. It's I think it's the comic book big problem of they can't let characters go, where
Mm-hmm.
it's just, why can't you just have a new person with magnet powers and they say, I'm now Magneto?
Oh no, they did that, Kevin. He was called Zorn. And he was also... yeah.
Oh man, you can't see it, but I'm like clawing at the air in disgust. That's one of the that's a thing I do. That like whenever something really gets me bad, I claw at the air like trying to get it away from me. I don't know if I started doing that as a joke, but now it's for real.
Now that's your life.
That's my life, where I will do that if I see something bad. It can't be actually bad. It has to be cartoon, like it has to be nothing bad. I'm like, ugh, just claw in there, like get away. Get away, no.
Yeah.
Like Zorn. Man. You know what sucks?
Zorn.
Yeah. And the mouse.
And Zorn's twin brother.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse. The true leader.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse does suck.
Mickey Mouse sucks ass. But not some of those cartoons. Some of those cartoons are pretty good. Yeah, I think I don't like this I hate the world we live in, where because you have
You're breaking up pretty bad.
me. I mean, am I breaking it
Yeah.
out? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got too heated about Mickey Mouse.
Okay. The last thing I heard was those old cartoons are good.
Oh, okay. I was just getting at that you have so many evil megacorps that I can't not interact with them, or if I was to or it's kind of like there's no way to stop it.
Yeah, you've seen the chart where it's, well, vote with your dollars. Okay, here's all the brands, and they all seem to lead back to the same 7 companies.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
Even, it's the other thing, even if you don't buy anything from Amazon, Amazon still owns like 80% of the web.
oh yeah, it's if you don't use Amazon, but then someone you like streams on Twitch and that's part of their thing, then guess what?
Yeah.
It's like, oh. Or it's like, well, what am I going to go to? Like, what was I talking about? I was talking about this, and I think in a chat room when it was it was when the president was attacking Twitter, and I was going in a chat in a Discord, and I was like, good, because I hope Twitter dies and we can go back to internet forums. I miss those days.
That's never going to happen.
Oh, of course not. What's going to happen is that we're going to have to go back to some sort of other social... I hate social media. I really hate it.
You have to go to Facebook.
Yeah, I just...
Forums are social media, Kevin.
Well, okay, like I hate the current centralized social media. I miss the days when I could be on the obscure... I don't know.
What you hate is that the internet's user base has exploded.
I kind of do. It's the demystification, where because so the internet's always had about like 20% of the population of the internet's human garbage, but now that the population is the entire world, that 20%, and that's kind of lowballing it, is way more vocal.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds bad, but I don't care. I just don't like that my mom is on Facebook and could message me on Facebook. I don't like that. It'd be like if my mom found out this podcast. I don't want it. I really don't want that. It's like, ugh. Just no. It's also the idea. It's like I don't want to. It's are we at a Pandora's box where you're seeing people's like true selves on the internet? You're seeing the Midnight Channel.
No, because there's still some people who are smart enough that their true self is on their Discords that are private servers.
Oh, you mean people that are quote unquote smart enough not to air their real opinions on an internet podcast, and I'm going to put this on YouTube. Like, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cowards.
Cowards,
we call them.
Cowards. You gotta show the world full in.
Well, listen. At least now, when the fascists show up, I'll know. They listened to That's a Thing episode 75. They gave us views.
Oh man. Oh, I'd be super dead if there's ever some kind of armed. I can't fight anybody.
I mean, fighting doesn't solve it long term.
No.
Well, okay. Fighting does solve it if you turn around and immediately offer a hand and pick the other guy back up. That's when fighting solves things. But nobody wants to do that after the fight.
No. You don't want to be the Goku. We're also not strong enough that when you turn the other cheek and then they try to stab you with your own energy, you blow them up again. He said, I gave you the chance, Frieza.
Yep.
I've been thinking about Dragon Ball Z a lot lately.
Vegeta has finished his training on Yidrat.
I saw that in the current scan, he like instant transitioned back to Earth to fight the Goat Man.
Yep.
I hope he...
And then he goes on to say, don't worry, I never plan to master this technique.
Come on, Vegeta.
No, he hates it.
It's so... That's like the most useful technique in all of Dragon Ball. The instant transmission, it's so strong.
No, I think that's the evil containment wave.
Okay, the evil containment wave is really good. There was one of the like Dragon Ball Tenkaichi games or whatever, where it did a what if scenario because there was the Dragon Ball villain. I think his name was Devilman or something, where he had a technique that killed you instantly if you were evil or had evil in your heart.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And like Goku beats him because Goku's just Goku, but they were saying
Yep.
like Frieza comes back to Earth and he showed up and killed him instantly, and then he destroyed Cell instantly, and like Boo is just like blown up completely because that's all Boo is negative evil. And he's like, yep, problem solved.
Yeah, he's one of the people Goku fights in Baba's tournament.
Yeah. He has to fight Grandpa Gohan at the end.
Yeah, and it's sad and touching and sweet.
So what I didn't know, because I've been in the rabbit hole of watching people talk about Dragon Ball Super and GT and stuff, is when Goku is waiting for in Super is waiting for Frieza to be brought back at Baba's. When he's doing like warm up outside of her
he's doing the sparring, like he's going through the same fight that he had with Gohan.
Yeah, I didn't know that, or I didn't pick that up, and I was like, wow, that's cool. Well done.
Yeah.
Whoever put that in there.
And that's something that's only possible when you have such rabid fans. Because Toriyama himself, he
doesn't care. He doesn't remember. He doesn't remember the choreography of that fight. He's drawn like...
He doesn't remember characters.
Yeah, what happened to launch?
It's like, no, Dragon Ball's a joke, Mama. You're not supposed to keep track of all this.
No. Oh, man. Dragon Ball's great.
Yeah.
I think
Hollywood executives found a way to improve it.
Yeah, they did. I was thinking, like, I think I like Jiren because he sucks.
I don't like him. He's just bland.
But he's so bland and like blatant that I'm like, that's great. I'm clapping.
Anything.
It's saying like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, anything that makes fanboys mad, I do like. Yeah. Because I'm petty enough.
But to me, I like the joke of why is he the strongest? I don't know. He just is.
He is.
Like to me,
it's another universe.
Because he's the personification of the problem in Dragon Ball of like villain or antagonist, where it's just like, why is he the strongest? Because Goku has to fight him. It's so workman.
Have to be stronger than Goku.
It's such like a workman, like direct basic problem solution that I love it. It's just like, why did he get that strong? I don't know. His family got killed. That's his backstory.
He doesn't have friends.
Yeah, he doesn't like friends either. He's the strongest. Don't worry about it. I love it. I adore that.
He's still currently the strongest too.
Yeah? I mean,
it took guile and subterfuge to beat him, and that says something for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Oh, it's just, I think I like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. It's such a weird thing because I don't know how much of it is nostalgia and how, like, I know it's a lot, but how much of it is it's legit good?
Oh no, I say all of it is, except for the filler. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are good.
Some of the filler is legit good too. I really like Piccolo and Goku driving the car.
Yeah.
I like that baseball episode. That baseball episode is really good. I think that's my favorite episode of Super.
I've skipped so much of the filler from that show.
That's the
like I watched that episode, yeah. But like
I skipped.
Basically, for me, I've only watched the movies and the Tournament of Power arc.
I would. It's because of like anything. I skipped around. I would watch when something cool would happen. Like when the first universe tournament, I skipped a lot of it, and then it's like, okay, Vegeta Kaba. That seems like an interesting fight. I'll watch it, and then I watched from that till the end. I like that.
Yeah.
I watched all of the Tournament of Power. I did that. How do you feel about Zeno? Do you like Zeno or not like Zeno?
Who's Zeno?
The little baby that blows everything up. The Ultra God that had the Tournament of Power.
Oh, that is definitely Toriyama's sense of humor.
Yeah.
I see. So in fans' translations for the manga, he sucks because it's a fan translation, so he's just dropping hard Fs all the time.
Oh, I hate that.
But I think in official translations where talented people are translating it, he's okay.
Yeah.
I think I've always read it as Zeno, like a hardy instead of a softy.
Yeah, it probably is. It honestly probably is. That's my mispronunciation of Japanese words in Magic the Gathering cards, and then I can't not do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, companion. Yeah, I think that'll be out today. We're gonna find out if the entire companion mechanic is getting banned from all of Magic.
Oh, that's hilarious that it happened this fast.
It was like, I think, I'm not sure, but I believe it was either restricted or banned in like Legacy or the one with Black Lotus. Like, I think one of the companions cannot be played. Because otherwise, if you play it, it's you play the Black Lotus, you bring out the companion, and then from the graveyard you bring out the Black Lotus again, and then you get to do like Time Warp, which is 2 mana. So it's like you have infinite Black Lotus every turn, so they had to ban it from like that format. And I was like, whoa.
Oh.
It's
yeah, and then there's the one that was just hard banned from Commander because its restriction was just
nothing.
A Commander deck. Yeah.
It was nothing. You just put it in. It's Magic's having Magic. I think it's a little late, but fine, I'll get into it because this is nothing. We already had our series talk.
Just save it for next week because we're over an hour already.
All right, I'll save it for next week. In summation, as a preview for next week's episode, playing Magic for a year has reminded me the feeling that you get that Wizards of the Coast is teetering on the edge of a cliff at all times. And it feels like the entire game's gonna fall down and go to rubble, and you're just waiting for it to happen. And it feels like I'll get into it next week. Anyway.
Yeah. Later days.
Later days.